Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I have talked to a lot of survivors. I've spoken to a lot of survivors, and I have been through the process myself. So, I have a wealth of information in regards to what is typically keeping, you're not a survivor yet, but keeping a person stuck in a situation that is centered around narcissistic abuse. So I'm going to give you the 5 top reasons that I'm seeing over and over and over to help you perhaps pinpoint the areas that you're going to have to, evaluate within your situation if you are one of the people that are stuck. Okay, guys, so here's my 5 reasons. Number 1 is because you are still standing in the illusions. Basically, you're still being manipulated. You're still standing in the lies. You're minimizing their poor behaviors. You're too image focused. You're still falling for the gaslighting. This is all the Stockholm syndrome. This is all going into my number 1 of standing in the illusions. So, one of the first steps to getting out of this situation is actually stepping into the truth. So, yeah, if you're still standing in the illusions, you're basically living in the narcissist world, and, you're believing that over your own discernment. You're believing that over your own God-given eyes of what you're clearly seeing. You're believing that over your gut instincts and what you're actually feeling. You're making that smaller, and you're giving more power to the illusions, to the lies, to the manipulations, to the gaslighting, and so forth and so on. So yes, number 1, standing into the illusions, basically not stepping into the truth, is keeping you in that situation. Okay, because now you're able to justify it based off of the lies. And the lies are going to promote what the narcissist wants, and it's also going to promote what you want down in your subconscious as well, believe it or not. All right. So number 2 on my list is you think you owe them something. And this could be based off of time spent in a relationship. This can be based off of the title that they have in your life. This is my husband, this is my wife, even though they're not being a wife to you, they're not being a husband to you, but you feel like you owe them another effort. Most survivors, they don't want to have a divorce, they don't want to do that. Time spent in, oh my gosh, I put 5 years into it. I don't want to give up. I've invested all of this, because we know the narcissist has you. You're the giver. When you've put so much into something, you can have a resistance towards walking away because you feel like you've made that investment. But that's where you need to make that perception shift, right? And you need to see, because I did all of that is why I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to take any more losses. I don't want to wanted to be going through a bunch of holes, basically slipping right through my hands, no matter how much I put into this situation. So it's actually because you did all of that, that you want to be more cautious now. Like, you've given enough. They've gotten more than they could ever deserve. So that's a perception thing. All right. You don't have any more energy to be wasted on someone that's not going to be reciprocating. And that should be point blank to you. Okay. Now, number 3 on here, I have sex. A lot of people have told me, oh, it was the best sex I ever had. And basically now we're talking about a soul tie. We are releasing bonding chemicals when we're having sex with people. Yeah, we are. And that will make you feel closer than you actually are to them. But what we know about the narcissist is that they're not making love to you. They're not making love to you. They are using you to masturbate. They really are. And people scratch their head on that. You know, like, well, what am I feeling? You're feeling your own illusions and perceptions, and you're feeling the mechanics of sex. You know, certain things are set up in the sexual act for you to feel a certain sensation, you know, when you're doing certain things. That's what you're feeling. But they're not making love to you. They're not having this intimacy with you, if you will. It's not intimate at all, actually. They're doing something intimate to you, but it's not intimate overall, and it's not intimate to them, okay? So sometimes that soul tie that keeps somebody stuck, like that orgasm, that rush, is like a drug, right? And that's keeping you stuck with that person. But consider this, are they worthy of that? Are they worthy to be able to touch you again? Because guess what? When you're getting off, they're getting off too on you. So do they deserve to be able to do that? You know, this is where our flesh cannot be louder than our logic. Our flesh cannot be louder than our spirit. And when it is, you will stay stuck in that situation just based off of the sex when the person is otherwise unhealthy for you. And we can even examine if they're good for you sexually. If they're bad for you in every other way, how could they still be good for you sexually? When they're not loving you, they're not respecting you, they're not loyal to you, they're not honoring you, they don't love you. How can that still be good for you sexually as well? When this person is cheating, you know, you're susceptible to catching things. How? You don't want to risk procreating with this person. So how? How can the sex still be good for you? That is just your flesh. And the flesh only cares about what feels good to it in the moment. All right. It doesn't care if you're diabetic and you're not supposed to be having sugar. The flesh says, I want a cupcake. I want sugar in this moment. I don't care if it raises your blood sugar up after the fact. So it doesn't care if you're continuously releasing these bonding hormones with the narcissist that's kind of basically pulling the wool over your eyes and making you feel something that isn't accurate in this situation. Okay. So number 4 on my list here is not wanting to be alone. When you are uncomfortable with being single, when you're uncomfortable with standing in your own strength, when you're uncomfortable with sitting at the table by yourself, dismissing people as need be, when you're uncomfortable with endings in life, if you're uncomfortable with letting people go, you're going to struggle in this area, and you're going to stay with toxic people, situations longer than you should. Instead of leaving when you're recognizing it, there's a comfort that you're getting into it, because somewhere in your perception, having that is better than having quote unquote nothing in your eyes. So this is, you know, a part of your shadow work that speaks to insecurities, you know, and a negative mentality that needs to be shifted in your perceptions. All right. So number 5 on my list, I have shadow work. All right. Sometimes we are with that narcissist because we ourselves, of course, are in a toxic space and place. There are things that we need to work on within ourselves. We're emotionally immature as well in our own ways. We have a codependent nature just like the narcissist in our own ways. So these things are keeping us tied in this toxic situation, and we'll be ready to let go of it once we evolve and start working on ourselves, because then the dysfunction will not match our energy anymore. We're going to be elevating above it as we get healthier and we heal and get emotionally mature and heal the codependent nature within us. Okay? So, you know, needing to do shadow work, needing to heal the toxic ways of ourselves, that is another reason. That's another reason why we end up staying in these toxic relationships. So let's go ahead down a list. Number 1, standing in the illusions. Okay, still falling for the lies. Number 2, thinking you owe them something. You owe them nothing. They got more than they ever deserved. Sex, letting your flesh make you weak for a toxic person. and throwing all your logic to the side for that orgasm or whatever the pleasure is that you feel like that sex is bringing you, which is still an illusion. Number 4, not wanting to be alone, not being comfortable in your own skin, not believing that the universe is going to fulfill your needs and desires, not making space for something healthier and better to come into your life by letting go of what doesn't serve you. Number 5, needing to do your shadow work. Needing to work on the toxic aspects of yourself that's keeping you attracted on some level to this toxic relationship, okay? So that's you needing to get emotionally mature. That's you perhaps healing some codependent natures within yourself. All right. So I hope this video is helping someone be able to figure out, why can't I leave this narcissist alone? Here's 5 really good reasons. And you could have all of these things going on with you, and it could just be one. Who knows? You'll know. Take that self-reflection, get into your self-awareness, and start working on this. If you need help healing yourself or getting and pull yourself out of this situation, I do offer coaching. I do this over the phone, typically 1-hour sessions, voice calls, FaceTime, Skype time, emailing. All right. You can schedule your appointment on my website, LakiaCrawford.com, or contact me through, there's a ton of ways to get in touch with me. All right. I do have this support group. All this information is in the description under the video. Lakia Reflection and Progression Crawford. If you're healing from narcissistic abuse, you're free to join the support group. Inbox me and let me know that you are a survivor. Okay, and just be patient with me. It's typically not a long wait to be accepted. All right. With that being said, guys, I have no Narc Zone merchandise on my website, LakiaCrawford.com. I have written 4 books to help people heal from toxic relationships, including if you've had one with yourself. That's the most important relationship, is the one you have with yourself. All right. So if you're looking to fill the voids, you're looking to increase your emotional maturity, learn more about psychology, feel free to pick up my books. We have to do more reading. We have to, open our minds more, basically. They're available on my website, LakiaCrawford.com, where you can get signed copies sent from me. They're also available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, and CreateSpace.com. All right. So keep doing the work, guys. Thank you for continuing to support the channel. I'm very happy with the growth of the channel. Great ways to support the channels are to always like the video, share my videos, make comments. It does help YouTube's algorithm push the content forward when they see other people care to see the message. All right. It helps it actually spread. All right. So keep doing the work. And again, I hope this video has helped someone. And then